In a world oversaturated with high-spec smartphones and relentless digital engagement, a counterculture has quietly been building momentum. It's not about faster chips or better cameras, it's about less. Minimalism in technology has birthed something that, at first glance, seems absurd: phones that intentionally do less. And yet, as absurd as it may seem, the deeper you dive into this trend, the more sense it begins to make. So today, we're unpacking one of the most intriguing gadgets in this minimalist space, the Light Phone 3. It's a device that's equal parts thoughtful engineering and frustrating compromise. On paper, it's anti-smartphone. In practice, it tries to be smarter about how we don't use our phones. But does it deliver? Or is it a niche dream priced like a flagship? Let's dig in. The rise of dumb phones, back to basics, or bold new future. We live in a time where smartphones do everything. They're Swiss Army knives of the digital age: messaging, media consumption, banking, GPS, fitness tracking, photography, and even augmented reality. And let's be honest, they've changed the way we live for the better in so many ways. But with that convenience has come a dark side: endless distractions, dopamine-fueled scrolling, and a dangerously short attention span. It's become clear that the smartphone era, while incredible, isn't without its downsides. And that's where minimalist or dumb phones come in, devices designed to cut out the noise and bring us back to intentional living. The concept isn't new. Phones like the original Light Phone and others like the Punked MP02 have explored this territory. But the Light Phone 3 is arguably the most sophisticated entry into this genre. It's a minimal phone that dares to be modern, a contradiction that makes it so fascinating. First impressions: a minimalist marvel in a premium package. Pick up the Light Phone 3, and you'll immediately understand it's not a toy or a gimmick. It's machined with intention. The matte black metal frame, tactile buttons, and subdued OLED display scream premium. It's smaller than your typical phone, almost nostalgically so. It fits in your hand and your life in a way that feels refreshing. And yet, it carries an aura of seriousness, like it's saying, "I'm not here to play. I'm here to help you disconnect." Instead of using an e-ink screen like its predecessors, the Light Phone 3 opts for an OLED panel beneath matte glass, preserving clarity without the glare. The result? Crisp, easy-to-read text, and smooth animations without the power-hungry visuals of full smartphones. Even its UI is minimalist perfection: monochrome, simple icons, and text, no bells, no whistles. But the hardware is more than skin-deep. On the left, there's a satisfying rotating dial that adjusts brightness or doubles as a flashlight activator. A two-stage shutter button on the side controls the lone rear camera. The speaker on the front? A callback to HTC's boom sound days, delivering loud and crisp audio, especially for podcasts or hands-free calls. Every design choice is deliberate. So, what can it do? The Light Phone 3 isn't completely dumb. Think of it as strategically intelligent. It can make calls and send texts, sure. But it also offers maps with turn-by-turn navigation, a calculator, alarm, calendar, and even a podcast player. You can pair Bluetooth headphones and add or remove functionalities called tools from a companion web dashboard. Want to add a music player, hotspot, or notes? That's doable through the web interface only. There's a camera too, a basic one. No frills, no filters, no pro modes. Just a simple way to capture a moment. You won't be taking your next Instagram portfolio on this device, but that's the point. It doesn't have Instagram. This deliberate absence is where the philosophy of the Light Phone 3 really kicks in. No browser. No social media. No email. No app store. No doom scrolling. Just tools you might need, and nothing you don't. The daily grind, when minimalism gets in the way. As promising as this all sounds, it doesn't take long for friction to set in. Take, for example, trying to navigate to a calendar event. Say you've got an appointment saved with an address on a normal smartphone, you just tap it and go. But here, you can't click the address. There's no copy-paste. So you manually switch to the Maps tool and start typing it out, letter by letter, with no autocorrect to help you avoid typos. And once you're out and about, forget about mobile payments. Even though the phone has NFC, there's no wallet support. If you need to authenticate a login or a transaction, you're stuck with basic SMS since there's no two-factor app or RCS support. Oh, and that fingerprint reader on the power button? As of now, it's just decorative, not functional. A nice touch, but not a useful one. The vibration motor also leaves much to be desired. It's one of those small details that matters more than you'd think, especially on a device that prides itself on minimal alerts. The camera, a mixed message. The rear camera, surprisingly, uses a 50MP sensor that bends down to 12MP. You might think this means decent quality shots, but in reality, the software does little to make use of the hardware. There are no shooting options, just a viewfinder, a shutter, flash toggle, and a slider for exposure. It's as bare bones as it gets. Images are passable in good lighting, but forget anything else. And if you do need to send them, you'll be using MMS, a compressed, outdated, and insecure method. Want to send via WhatsApp or Signal? Tough luck. Those apps don't exist here. The realization. Is it enough for you? The Light Phone 3 seems like it could work for certain people, maybe a child's first phone, or someone who wants to go full digital detox. But for most of us, it's a supplement, not a replacement. Because here's the catch. Many of us rely on tools beyond texting and calling. We need our to-do list synced to our cloud, access to files on Google Drive, real-time transit updates, and group chats across Discord, Slack, or WhatsApp. We want music that syncs with Spotify, not a playlist we had to transfer manually. And the moment you start wanting those things, the Light Phone 3 starts looking less like a solution and more like an inconvenience. The elephant in the room, the $800 price tag. Here's where things really fall apart, the price. At $800 retail, or $600 for early pre-orders, this phone is more expensive than most mid-range smartphones that can do everything. Yes, it's made of premium materials. Yes, it's niche and low volume. Yes, the software is custom and clean. But still $800? Let's compare the specs. Processor, Snapdragon 4 Gen 2, used in sub-$200 phones. RAM, 6 GB. Storage, 128 GB. Display, 4-inch 1080p OLED. Battery, 1,800 mAh. You can buy phones like the Poco M6 Plus, Redmi 13, or Vivo Y39, all using the same chip for under $200. Sure, they're not as sleek or purpose-built, but they do a lot more for a fraction of the cost. So, what are you really paying for? Not the raw specs. You're paying for the philosophy, the ecosystem, the idea. Parents buying their kids' first phone who want to avoid the TikTok rabbit hole. Artists or writers seeking creative solitude. Question of the video. Be honest. How long could you last using the Light Phone 3 as your only phone? No backup device, no laptop in your backpack. Just this and your willpower. Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching TechScope. I'll catch you in the next deep dive.
Peace.